WPA, prepare to have your ears tortured. It's From the Front Row with Johnathan T. Rokford.
No. What he was saying was MCGA, like make catering great again. Why do you think that was McGay? There was no Y at the end. You think it's some kind of like LGBTQ McDonald's or something? I mean, come on, Flip. You gotta be better than that. Let's be better. Okay. All right. What's up, folks? It's me, Johnathan T. Rokford, here with another edition of From the Front Row. And folks, I know it's Saturday, but our time has been kind of tied up this week. Seriously tied up. Well, last night we were out partying, so yeah, there was that yesterday. But hey, we're talking about last week, so it doesn't matter. Now it's guaranteed we will probably be filming again tonight. I mean, we ain't got shit else to do. Last week, our game changer actions featured Lycan Umbras taking on Johnathan and beating Johnathan, and then challenging the Blueprint and losing. I mean, this guy survived the whole WPA Battle Royal and won. Gets one-on-one, goes 2 matches, loses on the second one. Come on. Now, the Blueprint was no better, as he took on the Messiah and in a walk-off lost the title that quick. He has a habit of doing that, right? It's like can't get past one defense. The fuck? I mean, granted, the Messiah didn't do no better, as he lost to Jalen Masters, who then went on to lose to the Master Sean Puff last night. It's crazy. And we'll cover this week's game changer matches tomorrow. But yeah, well, we'll have the definitive week winner after that. So now we like to welcome to WPA the hardcore rocker Joey Revolver. Yeah, that's his name. Yeah, he's probably going to shoot his mouth off here in WBA. We'll see. Now, our first match featured the Super Champion King taking on the Pinnacle of Humanity, Adrian Christopher. And the Pinnacle pinned the Super Champion King. I don't know. He must have been his kryptonite. One of his kryptonites. I mean, he is a Pinnacle. So maybe he's the pinnacle of defeating the Super Champion King. In our next match, it was the badass Eddie Vendetti, who's been on fire lately, taking on Lady Assassin and defeating Lady Assassin. You know, the badass, that guy's been pretty hot lately. I mean, he's trying to go for another Performer of the Year. Yeah. I mean, he could do it. I mean, he's got a good resume, got a good case, I guess. Now, in our next match, it was the Beast taking on Johnathan, who, after losing to Lycan Umbras, lost to the Beast. Now, the Beast has been racking up some wins lately. He's trying to climb back up into the spotlight. So, we'll see how that goes. He's got the tools to do it. Now, in our next match, it was supposed to be Wolf Knight taking on the Commish. But, you know, if we say it was supposed to be, it didn't happen. So Wolf Knight went and sat down on commentary. That guy spends a lot of time down at commentary. He might want to be in part of the commentary team. Keeps it up. Yeah, he got to call the next match, Polish Power versus the Emperor, 2K Anomaly, which is not a high-profile match, but nevertheless, it was quite entertaining as Polish Power defeated the Emperor, 2K Anomaly. Of course, as always, the Emperor said the match was rigged. I don't know. I don't know. I have no idea. It's just he's been saying it for like the last 3-4 years. I guess he figures if he says it enough times, somebody will believe him. Now, our final match of the pre means something matches in the pre-show, I guess you'd call it, was the Blueprint Jackson Aries taking on the Darkstalker. And that match, as high profile as it should have been, went to a time limit draw. Yeah, neither one could get the advantage. Which is weird. You would think the Blueprint would have won that match, but he just didn't have what it takes to beat the Darkstalker, I guess. Could we be seeing a return of the Darkstalker who can actually win consecutive matches? Maybe it's a start. You know. And our number one contender match for the WPA Triple Threat title. Match 1 saw our First Lady Alexa Leslie taking on the Idols Steve Sampson and Casper 2779. And Casper picked up the win by pinning the Idol. I'm glad I didn't bet on that one because I would have said the First Lady was going to win that one. I mean, come on. It's the First Lady. She's kind of hard to beat. Well, match 2 saw Brian Lieber taking on Mac Blakely and Money MF and Mike. And Brian Lieber picked up the win by pinning Mac Blakely. Not a surprise. Not a surprise. I mean, this guy's a former champ. He was a dominant champ, too. He was IC champ one time. Yeah. And our number one contender match for the television title, it was the Messiah taking on Kwani Fist. And the Messiah had to live the nightmare that everyone tries to avoid when facing Kwani Fist, and that is being pinned by a guy named Kwani. Yeah. Let that stick in your head for a minute. And the number one contender match for the IC title, it was Big Mel taking on Sean Puff. And Sean Puff defeated Big Mel to move on and take on Johnny Rocco for the Intercontinental title. Yeah, he beat Big Mel. You mean why I keep using the air quotes? I mean, come on. Kind of, he better had won the match. It was like an open book test. Big Mel revealed all his moves until the end. So, but hey, a win's a win. So, in the number one contender match to decide who would be the challenger for the world title, it was Red Death taking on Fat Thomas and Money. And Fat Thomas picked up the win, pinning Money. I mean, God, we haven't seen a Fat Thomas versus Jermaine for the title in what, 200-300 pounds? It's been a while. Tag team champs were in action as the Street Fight King and South Bronx Savage took on Martel the Carpenter and Bobby Blaze. And South Bronx Savage pinned Bobby Blaze. Bobby, can you please? We are getting tired of watching Melvin have meltdowns every time you lose a match. Stop it. Bobby. Damn it. About to go Hank Hill on your ass. Now, in our next match, in his first defense for the Triple Threat Championship, HKO Jason Shepard took on Cloudy Diggs and Cats and Corey, and he fell victim as so many before him have done, and lost when Cats and Corey pinned Cloudy Diggs. Another one bites the dust, folks. It's lately. It's like I don't think since Like and Umbras did it, nobody's won it 4 straight times consecutively. Nobody. Now, in our television championship, speaking of Like and Umbris, Like and Umbris took on James Altrez in a television title match and defeated him. That guy's been on fire. I'm pretty sure he's at the point of rematch status. Should he ever lose that thing? I don't see him losing it no time soon, though. In the United States title match, it was JP DiMaggio taking on the Brass Hole, and JP once again showed why he is a tough son of a bitch, defeating the Brass Hole and retaining this title. Now, it was a first as Johnny Rocco took on Captain Mexico, and the first time ever I think Johnny Rocco has ever successfully defended the Intercontinental title. The second time. Usually he does it the first. Second time usually winds up losing. But he actually survived this time. Go figure. Now, in our main event, it was the match we had all been waiting for, and that was Jermaine Walker taking on the sponsored athlete, Jay LeMasters. And it lived up to pretty much our expectations, as we expected Jermaine Walker to win the match. And he did. But it wasn't easy. Like we always say, Jalen Masters is one tough SOB. Probably the toughest SOB in WPA. It's hard to beat. Yeah, the East Baltimore street fight, too, at that. But he finally got his wish, though. I mean, that was kind of cool of the champ to make that little agreement with him. Now, as we said, this week is almost over. And we have some matches going on currently, and they will be concluding tonight. And so far, we have, as always, our normal case of DNPs. But we have Money taking on James Altrez in a tight match. One mistake by Money, it could wind up costing the match, as it's pretty close. Hakayo Jason Shepard is taking on Big Mel, and we don't expect Big Mel to make a mistake, but that's how close the match is. Yeah, it's pretty close. The newcomer, hardcore rocker Joey Revolver is taking on Wolf Knight, and Wolf Knight is right now in control of that match. But we shall see what happens. Fat Thomas is taking on Captain Mexico, and he seems to be in fairly good control as he gets ready for his world title shot against Jermaine Walker. South Bronx Savage is taking on the Idol Steve Sampson, and he also is in control of that match. Now his partner, well, I don't think he's sitting down on commentary right now waiting to see if his opponent even shows up, as he's supposed to be taking on the Commish, who once again has not shown up. Now keep in mind, folks, all these guys that have not shown up for their matches, well, we won't have to worry about seeing them at the Royal Rumble. Now the sponsored athlete is taking on Bobby Blaze, and I swear to God, Bobby, please get a win. They'll shut Melvin up. And right now, Jermaine Walker, if he makes one false move, it could be detrimental to his psyche, as he is facing Martel the Carpenter. And that match is pretty close. It's closer than it should be. And an interesting match, control of the Trios titles is kind of on the line, folks, as Johnny Rocco and the Messiah are taking on Sherman Puff and the Beast. Winner gets control of the Trios titles. It means they can name whoever their partners they want to be. So we'll see how that one goes. That match is not, that's a tight match. I swear, one false move and it's over. Now, Royal Rumble #1 contender match is the pinnacle of humanity. Adrian Christopher versus the Darkstalker versus the Super Champion King in match 1 of the Triple Threat Championship #1 contender match. Match 2 is seeing Lady Assassin, who has not shown up, and if she does, it's probably too late to make an effect, taking on the Emperor, 2K Anomaly, and Nergigante, which by the looks of it, Nargigante should be moving on. In a tag team championship number 1 contender match, it's the Killer Goons, Money MF, and Mike in the Brass Hole taking on the Order, First Lady Alexa Leslie and Mac Blakely. And honestly, I could see that match. There's a chance. But I don't think. I think the Order will probably win that match. Cloudy Diggs is taking on Red Death in the television championship number 1 contender match. And God forbid Red Death make a mistake on that one. Because if we wind up with a tie, I mean, that's two people. I'm pretty sure. I mean, our television champ is showing he can take on 2 people at the same time anyway. I mean, he's like a real corn star there. In a first time, I think we've had this Royal Rumble number 1 contender match for the United States Championship. It's the Blueprint, Jackson Aries, taking on the badass Eddie Vendetti. Eddie Vendetti is in control of that match right now. So that means the Blueprint's not locked in. Triple threat titles on the line as Cass and Corey is taking on Cass with 2779 and Brian Lieber. The television championship is also on the line as Lycan Umbras taking on Kwani Fist in a very tight match. That match should not be that tight, but it is. And in our main event, United States champion, the notorious JP DiMaggio, is taking on Polish Power. That's it, folks. That's all that's going on this week, folks. We're getting ready for the Royal Rumble. And they've said it over and over and over again. Don't miss a match. It could affect your entry into the Royal Rumble. And I can already tell you there's probably about like 4 or 5 people that won't be in the Royal Rumble. They get a spot. Now, from what we understand, there will be a live drawing for the spots in Royal Rumble done by admin Jermaine Walker, as he does every year. More details will be coming out as we get closer to that drawing. But until then, folks, we're going to sit here and watch this game where it looks like the defenses are trying to murder the quarterbacks. Yeah, I don't know. This game's going to be kind of weird. Stay tuned for tomorrow as we will be filming another episode and putting it out for this week's matches and any other updates that we may need to let you know about. I'm Johnathan T. Rokford, folks. Did you see that flip? I mean, come on. This game is going to be... I'm worried about this game here. Flip. I mean, it could be worse. It could be the Cowboys or the Eagles. I mean, shit. No, Flip. It's not McGay. It's not